Newscast on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. My name is Joshua Van Slyckman, and let's get to the news in details. Even as ExxonMobil and its partners awaits government approval before going ahead with the final investment decision on the Yellowtail project, the high estimated cost already has its shareholders concerned about the impact of the pressure on the project. This specific concern was raised during the 2021 third quarter earnings call for Hess Corporation, which has a 30% stake in the Stabroek block. During the earnings call yesterday, executive of Hess Corporation fielded several questions about the massive Yellowtail project, which its partner ExxonMobil has said will cost over $9 billion. Guyana's public debt has been steadily increasing in recent years, and according to the nation's latest financial report for the first half of this year, loans from the Inter-American Development Bank increased tenfold over the corresponding period last year. This information is contained in the mid-year financial report on the nation's accounts for 2021. According to that document, disbursements from the IDB increased tenfold from $5.2 million in the first half of 2020 to about $55.5 million for the corresponding period in 2021. According to the report, about 75.2% of the latter amount was allocated to combating the economic and social ramification of the pandemic. Guyana's draft local content bill is scheduled to be presented in Parliament before the end of this year. Attorney General Anil Nandalal disclosed on Tuesday that the document is receiving the attention of the Chief Parliamentary Council and teams within his chambers. The AG noted that the team is making the finishing touches to the draft bill before it takes to the next parliamentary session. Nandalal stressed that local content is an important strategic issue in the oil and gas industry. As such, he noted that the government and other stakeholders are seeking to secure greater local benefits from oil and gas production. Nandalal said these expectations are important factors in the way the government determines which companies gain access to hydrocarbon business opportunities. We tell you now that having expressed a desire to dump its waste at the Hayes Bosch landfill on the east bank of Demerara in the Eccles industrial site area, SOCs using the facility for at least 10 years into the future as its operation expands locally. This is even as the company uses the facility to dump some 30 to 35 tons of waste daily from its operation. This much is documented in the company's latest cradle-to-grave waste management analysis, which had identified the landfill as a possible dumping ground for some of its waste. According to the document, at present, the HBL is the only engineered landfill in Guyana for the disposal of municipal solid waste and non-hazardous commercial and industrial waste. The original Cell 1, started receiving waste in 2011 and is currently at 99% capacity. It was noted that at current disposal rates, Cell 2 is expected to last for approximately 4 to 6 years. Minister within the Ministry of Housing and Water, Susan Rodriguez, on Monday night stated that GWI has 2 bank overdrafts, which resulted in the company owing the bank a total of $540 million. The minister was appearing on the GlobeSpan program when she made this disclosure. According to the minister, the company was in a financial crisis when her government assumed office last year. Minister Rodriguez revealed that GWI was found in a state of crisis and was fraught with mismanagement and corruption. Additionally, CEO of GWI Sheikh Bash has stated that the agency reduced its debt to suppliers from $800 million to $260 million from September to December 2020. A 32-year-old barber was stabbed during an argument in his barber shop. The incident took place on Tuesday at the barber shop located at Bell West on the west bank of Demerara around 21 hours. The victim, Dikumar Lekhan, was at his barber shop when the suspect, a 23-year-old man who was armed with a sharp object, ran into the building and an argument ensued between the two. After the confrontation, the suspect stabbed the victim several times about his body, which resulted in him collapsing to the ground in an unconscious state. According to police, Lekhan was picked up by public spirit citizens and taken to the West Demerara Regional Hospital, where he was seen and examined by a doctor. He was later transferred to the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, where he remains in serious condition. And it is time for your COVID-19 updates. The Ministry of Health yesterday reported that a 64-year-old unvaccinated man who contracted the novel coronavirus disease has died. As a result of this, Guyana's COVID-19 death toll has moved to 900. According to the ministry, the man who resided in Region 4, Demerara, Mahaica, died while receiving treatment at a medical institution. Meanwhile, in its latest COVID-19 dashboard, the Health Ministry recorded 82 new cases, taking the total number of confirmed cases to 35,252. Presently, there are 25 patients in the COVID-19 ICU, 73 are in institutional isolation, 2,926 in home isolation, and 5 in institutional quarantine. To date, a total of 31,328 persons who had tested positive have recovered. And just before we wrap things up here, let me turn my attention to the page 7 of the Kaieteur News that is dedicated on being blunt. Guyana has a brave new world to expect with its liberal-related telecommunications industry. Guyana is a real mother country, since its people are expectant at all time. When the telecom companies deliver, then our expectancies will be over. How about stable and real race car speeds for internet? What about cheaper landline and cell phone charges? And with that, we've come to the end of your main newscast right here on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. Allow me to remind you that you can get the full details of these stories and much more, or by picking up a copy at the newsstand near you, do beg your pardon, or head across to our website at kaieteurnewsonline.com.